Hey guys, it's Alicia Renee, and I'm back to do the last installment of this short series of foundation. The first video that I covered was an ethnic approach to selecting drugstore foundation. So you want to check that out. It covers Iman and it covers the CoverGirl Queen collection that they have and answer some questions. So you want to check that one out definitely if you need a little bit of clarification. And the last one that I actually put up was to prime or not to prime. It discusses what is the purpose of priming and some of the alternatives versus you going out and purchasing the Smashbox Photo Finish or NARS or whatever the case might be. So check that out. It definitely has information on there for you guys. Now, this video, I am going to use a foundation that is darker. Again, darker than my color. Now, the reason why I'm going to do that is so you can see how the foundation, the product is reacting on my face. How can you learn if you can't see what it's doing? So that is the reason why I'm having a darker foundation. Please don't talk trash on my channel about my color selection. Anywho, I'm going to jump straight in. Now, people use their fingers, which I don't suggest because it gets everywhere. And in turn, if you don't wash your hands, it's 9 times out of 10 gonna get on your skin. So, or your skin, your clothes, more importantly, and that's not what you want. But a lot of people use sponges. These are very economical. You can get a bag of them out of Big Lots for $1.50, which I purchased. I'm not going to show you because it's going to mess up the camera. But one thing I will suggest is that you wet your sponge, okay? The reason why you wet it, I have a bottle of water that I keep in my makeup kit or I have it on my counter. It spans. Now for time's sake, I pre-wet this one a little bit and I'm just mushing it around so it can go ahead and span some more. But this is the original dry one and this is the wet one. It has doubled in size, guys. So when it's wet, it's not going to absorb as much of your foundation into the sponge. So it stretches your product a little bit longer and it makes it a little easier to blend your product as well. So don't saturate it where when you're squeezing it, water is running down your face. Just wet it up where, you know, it expands a little bit to get the job done that you're trying to do. Next, you have different brushes. Now, these brushes. This is a foundation brush. I got this at a trade show, but you can get something like this at Sally's. You can get something like this at Target or maybe even Walmart. I didn't try it personally, so I don't know about the Walmart one. But Sonia Kashchuk has one, as well as the one in Sally's Beauty Supply. So, or you can go to Sigma.com or Crown Royal Brushes or MAC. Everyone's getting plugs on my channels. But anyways, yeah, so that's this one. Then you have, I got these two, mind you, I'm going to tell you now, I got these two out of a CVS, and it was 2 of them in a pack, so I was like, awesome, 2 brushes for 1 price. No, this brush is too thick, and the bristles of it are kind of choppy, so it's not going to give you a good application process if you really need. Now, the small one was great for going into the corner of the nose, so I will use it for that, but I wouldn't recommend that you go out and waste your money on those brushes. Now the last one that you're going to see is the dual fiber brush, okay? This one I got out of Walmart. I have been using this for blush. As you can see, it's red. And that's because it's excellent for blending and it's going to give you a flawless look. So if you can't go to Sally's and pay like 10 or 15 bucks for this one, you can always go to Walmart and pay like $6 for this one. Of course, it's not going to be the same quality, but it's an alternative for you. So I'm going to jump straight in. Alright, so I'm going to take this foundation that is too darker, again, too dark, and I'm going to put it on my hand. Again, product works differently when it's warmed by your own body heat. I'm going to take my wet sponge and I'm just going to load it into the end. Again, I told you guys that I use the flat end to apply and the pointy end to blend. So it's wet. I'm just going to pounce this color on my face. I'm just doing pouncing motions, guys. No dragging. Pouncing, okay? Pouncing is applying the color directly to my skin. And it's doing so in a way that's pretty much even because I have loaded it in. And I'm just pouncing, guys. Just pouncing, pouncing, pouncing. Now, some people leave it just like this. And they don't blend. They let it set. But the purpose is that when you're just pouncing, you have a more likelihood of having even application versus dragging across the face. So, pouncing, 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 pouncing. Now this other end comes in for blending. Like when you're blending down into the neck, I would use this side. So it's lightly pulling the color down. You see how it's taking the color from up here and pulling it down? Because you don't want to put a lot of it down there because you're going to have to blend further down your neck. Now, if it takes too much color, you just go back with the flatten and just add that color back in. You just want a bit of color to pull down into your neckline. You don't want it going down into your chest. You just want a little bit. So that's what I use that for. Now, one technique when I am on photo shoot, if I'm applying with the sponge and have blended, to make sure I have a flawless look, I will take my dual fiber, and I will buff the skin. So I'm just going to rub it in circular motion, guys. Now this brush is a little wet still because I sanitized it earlier, but this is the look that it's pretty much going to give you. Okay, use a little bit of imagination. But you're just buffing it in circle motions. Make sure you're getting into the corner of the nose, what most of us forget. But that's how this works. Okay? Buffing it in. Next, you can use the brush. Same thing, you're going to paint on evenly. Okay? Just evenly strokes on your face. Okay? Same thing, even strokes. Now, definitely with the brush, you're going to either spend some time just painting and blending out, which you can do. As you can see, it's blending very well just by constantly going over a spot with the brush and blending it out. You can do it that way. Or, which I'll tend to do, is go in and buff again with this dual brush, okay? Buff, 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 okay? Same thing. Now, another technique that somebody uses, I look so crazy right now, is you just take the dual fiber brush and you load the color into the brush itself. And then you pounce on your face the same way you would do before, and you blend. And you blend. Okay? So my battery looks like it's going to die, so I will be right back and I will finish the information with the blending. But this is the technique that you would use to apply the colors with the different brushes. So I'll be right back to finish up the information on the different brushes that I used in the techniques and why. See you guys in a second. Alright, so I given my battery a little bit of juice, just a tad. But it also gave this foundation a second to dry. So what I'm going to actually say about this is, looking at it, the sponge technique tends to give a bit of more full coverage. So if you are in need of covering up more blemishes, if you had heavy concealer on, the sponge technique would be probably best because you're not going to be pulling the product, your concealer, you're not going to be dragging it out of place. You're just pouncing it on and then you're blending. So this one the sponge technique tends to be a little bit more fuller coverage. The brush technique, it covers, but if you don't have a lot of blemishes, you're just doing a light application, that one might be good for you, and you might not even have to blend. So you can just, take your time and work the foundation in with the brush, which I did. As you saw that it was, starting to become an even application. Or if you don't have time for all of that, you can just go ahead and get this dual fiber brush and pounce it on and blend it. It's more comparable to this side than it is to this. So that is definitely, those are definitely suggestions that you can keep in mind. So yeah, I'm looking a hot mess right now with this wrong color foundation. My brother came in the room and just looked at me and walked out. he just knew. He just walked out. He didn't say anything. So that's what it is. So again, you have this brush that you can get out of Sally's or Walmart or Sigma or whatever. You get this out of Target, Sally's, Sigma, whatever. And then the sponges you can pretty much find everywhere. So again, don't forget to wet this up a little bit. And that is it. I hope this is helping you out, guys. If you guys are finding these videos helpful, please don't hesitate to let me know. I need encouragement to let myself know to keep doing this as well. That is making a difference out there for somebody. So color your world with a little more color, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, guys.